Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to Snow Watch. So yeah, we've got some more snow on the way. Some places have already had snow over the past day or two, and we have got more snow to come as well in the coming days, and we will be going through the model data and we'll be trying to work out where the snow is going to be in the coming days. I think snow will be generally around, it's going to come and go. There will be rain mixed in as well. And so it's a complex old setup. This is a very difficult, very unstraightforward setup. But there will be more snow to come for some of us, and we will work out exactly where that snow is going to be on Snow Watch tonight. The mic is back working, so if you've seen today's 10 to 14 day, you'll know that I'm using a very low quality microphone on that one that comes bundled in with the webcam. Because the mic stopped working. I don't know what happened to it, but I have managed to get the mic working now. So the audio quality should be a lot better, I think, on this video. Fingers crossed. It should sound like back to normal with a pretty high quality mic. I've got another mic coming from Amazon though, and that's going to be to go over the computer. Right, so that should be all resolved. Big thank you to Rich for the Snow Watch gift. Thank you so much, Richard, for the Snow Watch gift. Is that GavsWeatherVids towers that you see there? I think that looks a little bit grander than what GavsWeatherVids towers is, to be honest. But maybe in our mind's eye that could be GavsWeatherVids towers. It might be. Thank you so much, Rich, for the Snow Watch gift. Right, let's see what's happening with the general setup then. So we remain cold. That's the sort of the broad picture. Winds remain in from the north. We're going to still continue to pull down cold air from the north, therefore. And it's an unsettled scenario as well, with low pressure involved. So this is the FACS chart for midday tomorrow. This is the human interpretation of the models by forecasters of the UK Met. And if you follow the isobars map, there's some British Isles just there, of course. If you follow the isobars map, you see that the air is originating from a long way north and moving southwards as well into Western Europe. Now, there are weather systems and fronts that are in the flow. So there's one just here tomorrow to the north of the country, to the north and northeast of the country, and then another one down here to the southwest. Now, yesterday, some models, particularly the ECM, was bringing that right in across England and Wales, and potentially producing a big snow event during Wednesday. This low pressure has been trended southwards with time. And it's only really the ECM going for that. The BBC and the Metos were very bullish about that yesterday, which I was a little bit surprised about, because most of the other model output had this a lot further south. You remember my pal Sab did Snow Watch yesterday, and he wasn't really convinced that there would be like a big dumping of snow across England and Wales. It seems like Savvy was right to be sceptical about that. So well done, Sav, on your first Snow Watch. You called that one right, because this low has been trended southwards, and it will bring a little bit of snow to the far south of the country. But it's not going to bring like a dumper snow across England and Wales unless it gets trended further northwards again. That's where the low is at midnight on Thursday, and by then the low is like in the channel over northern parts of France. So it just sort of runs across the south coast. Does bring potentially some snow to the south though, and I would have thought it's south of the M4 really that's seen with a decent chance of covering of snow from that. But north of that, most of England and Wales probably won't get much in way of snow from that little area of low pressure. Very close run thing though. If it'd just been a few hundred miles further northwards, it would have brought a proper dump of snow to England and Wales. So that's pushing through. We're left with these weather fronts to the north. They'll be bringing like heavy wintry showers to northern and eastern parts of the country. And then we go through to midday on Thursday, which of course is New Year's Eve, and we've got this weather system coming southwards now. That bringing an area of rain, sleet and snow southwards through particularly northern England and down into Wales, possibly into parts of the Midlands as well on New Year's Eve. So there could be snow around on this New Year's Eve, and then we go through to midnight on New Year's Day. So it's in midnight Friday, New Year's Eve to New Year's Day midnight on the 1st of January 2021. And again, we're cold. We're within the 5 to 8 thickness lines. That shows that the air is cold, and we've got these weather fronts around as well, and they're going to be bringing further rain, sleet, and snow. There's also some convergence lines. So again, it's just going to be very problematical to work out where the rain snow divide is. That's how things look at on midday on New Year's Day, Friday, with this front coming further southwards. The cold weather continues, though. There's no sign of an end to the cold weather in the foreseeable future, which is like the next week to 10 days. Anyway, we're staying cold, and if anything, over weekend into the early part of next week, we possibly find high pressure moving northwards and becoming centred to the north of Scotland, which may well pull the wind into the east. So we may go from northerlies to easterlies through the weekend and into next week. Right, that's the facts charts done then. This is how the GFS is showing things through the next few days. So, of course, we've got these unstable northerly winds. There's this little area of low pressure coming in from the Atlantic tomorrow. That low pressure is sort of to the south-southeast over the Low Countries and northern France. We get through to New Year's Eve. We remain in this cold and sort of unstable northerly flow. Into New Year's Day, Friday, northeast winds continue, and then into the weekend, we keep those cold winds going. You'll notice that the high pressure becomes centred just to the northwest of the country, and that turns the winds into the east. So we start seeing winds turning easterly then through the weekend and into the early part of next week. This will probably change the distribution of the showers, so northern areas may become drier, but southern and eastern areas may start to pick up more in way of showers on those easterly winds. And up to a week's time, which as far as we're going to go with Snow Watch, we keep wind in from the east, so it remains cold with high pressure blocking to our north. Is how the ECM picks things up over the next few days. Very, very similar sort of trends with, again, high pressure away to the northwest, bringing cold northeast winds. But eventually, over weekend into next week, the wind will turn increasingly easterly, and that could again change the orientation of the snow showers and or the wintry showers, and possibly bring them more into southern and eastern parts of the country. Then there's signs with the E712Z of the high pressure doing a bit of retrogression and trying to push its way. That's Monday's chart, trying to push its way up towards Greenland. Perhaps we might come back to that right at the very end of this, though. Let's see how the ECM finishes. Is it going to set up a renewed northerly blast? We'll probably come back to it. Not really relevant for Snow Watch, but it will be of interest to see what the ECM does. Right, so this is how precipitation forecast is looking from the GFS. Over the next few days, precipitation type forecast. So starting this evening, of course, snow showers across Scotland, wintry mix down in the southwestern part of the country as well. This is a little area of low pressure coming in tomorrow, so that's bringing some rain and snow into parts of southern southwestern England, some of that coming up into parts of Wales, and then running a lot through the southern counties as well. So a little bit of snow for the southwest. That's by the time we get through. So that's 6 o'clock in the evening. That's by the time we get through to 9 o'clock tomorrow evening. Again, it is in the south. It's in the south of the M4. It's trying to get up to London, but may get some snow up to London, actually, with that. But generally, to the south of the M4 is where we have the risk of some snow, that little area of low pressure. Some wet weather down through the channel as well. So most of that is going to be rain. Central northern parts of the country looking mainly dry and probably quite frosty. Then that low sort of clears away to the southeast, but we bring more wintry weather into the north, into the northern part of the country as we go through, of course, of New Year's Eve. So we've got more rain and snow coming in off the North Sea through the early hours of New Year's Eve, Thursday, and then that pushes southwards through northern England into Wales and southwestern parts of England as well. That's light into the early hours of New Year's Day, where you see there's a wintry mix coming, so rain through the Midlands, a little bit of snow across parts of Wales. A proper old headache, this, to forecast with. It's such a marginal type situation that we're in. Maybe a little bit surprisingly so, given the synoptics, which do look very conducive you know, very conducive to delivering really cold weather, actually. By open next week, we're turning wind into the east. So then we start to see snow showers coming in from the east, well, wintry showers coming in from the east. But they look a little bit more conducive to snow, don't it? It looks like there's more snow around through the early part of next week as we pick up those easty winds. We're even pushing some through the Midlands and those sort of areas. So that's how the broad GFS is looking. Let's see what the arpège is doing. So we'll just quickly run through with this one. So this way shows up the snow a little bit less compared to the other ones. This is midday tomorrow. There's an area of wintry precipitation in towards southwestern England. A few wintry showers across Wales. It's not showing up much though, is it really, from that little area of low pressure. That then runs through the channel, and that really is very far south. That's further south than like the GFS has. I mean, that's just running along the south coast as rain. Really, so the arpège is basically a miss with that area of low pressure. Possibly just clips into the southeast corner there, but basically that low pressure is and its precipitation is through the channel and barely makes it onto the south coast tomorrow. Then into we go into Thursday, New Year's Eve, and we're bringing those wintry showers into the north. So through Scotland and northern England, start seeing wintry showers pushing in from the east. Let's see what happens with those, of course, of New Year's Eve. So they move southwards, possibly bring some snow into the Midlands during New Year's Eve afternoon. So that would be a New Year's Eve to remember, wouldn't it? With snow moving southwards through the Midlands from northern England. Very little further far east and southeast, though. And then that sort of peters out into the early hours of New Year's Day with more towards rain, man, particularly for eastern parts of the country, rain showers. I expect more of a wintry mix. There will be some sleet and snow mixed in with those showers if they're heavy enough, I would have thought. And then that takes us through into the weekend. So this is Saturday when things are really drying out as we go through there. Right, that's our pairs. Let's have a look at the icon. Then this is a high resolution model. All these are coming from the Weather Outlook, by the way, so do check out Weather Outlook. So this is tomorrow, precipitation coming in, just clipping into this southwest corner, mostly rain for South Wales down to southwest, and a little bit of sleet or snow suggested over high ground, like the moors of southwestern England. Primarily rain, and again, really to the south of London. Icon has this to the south of London, so again, further south than the GFS has it. If the precipitation gets far enough north, then there is going to be snow from it. The issue really is how far south this is being trended. With each mile run, this seems to be going further and further south. As I say, yesterday, the ECM had this over the whole of England and Wales with a real snow event, but over subsequent model runs, this low has trended further and further southwards. But it does perhaps bring a little bit of snow to these southern counties. Perhaps brings a little bit of snow to southern counties, inland from the coast anyway. Right, that gets us through to New Year's Eve, and then we have this area of snow pushing in from the east and moving southwards across northern England through Wales and into the Midlands as well. That's a bit of a snow event there on New Year's Eve afternoon, on Thursday afternoon. Proper snow from northern England down into the Midlands. Very, very interesting. And then that snow carries on pushing further south into some central southern parts. So New Year's Eve with Icon looks pretty snowy for large portions of England and Wales. We do start pulling some less cold air off the North Sea into the east, so that turns some of the snow back to rain. But even to the early hours of New Year's Day, there is some snow around. Again, particularly so through the Midlands and over to Wales. So there could be a bit of snow event for parts of England and Wales from this, actually, on New Year's Eve and into New Year's Day. So it's marginal and it's close to one thing, but it could happen. We go through New Year's Day, things gradually start to dry up, and then into the weekend, we start to see, as far as we go, to midday on Sunday, and we start to see signs of those wintry showers gathering in the east there with Icon. This is how the ECMWF midnight run was looking. So again, suggests some snow down in the far south, wintry mix, far south, generally to the south of the M4, but maybe impacting parts of South Wales as well. Then into New Year's Eve, there comes that snow through northern England down into parts of Midlands and Wales. And then things begin to go drier as we go through the weekend. And then we pull in east winds. And that brought rain in from the east with the ECMWF midnight run. You'll be able to see a precipitation type forecast with the midday ECM run to Meteo in a couple of hours. Euro 4 looks like this. So let's see what Euro 4 is doing. So this evening, there are going to be some wintry showers around this evening. They're primarily going to be towards coastal areas. That gets us into tomorrow afternoon. There's that precipitation. This is so far south, the precipitation tomorrow afternoon, so barely impacting even the far southwestern part of the country, and really just through the channel. There are wintry showers on the western side of the country, a mix of rain, sleet and snow mixed in with some of those. That gets us into New Year's Eve then, so let's see what happens on New Year's Eve. Here comes the snow showers, well, wintry showers, but quite a bit of snow is already established, like for northern England, southern, eastern Scotland, down into northern England, possibly pushing through Wales. Doesn't get them through the Midlands as much as like Icon does, but I mean that's a couple of days away, so New Year's Eve is still to be firmed up upon. And there is a risk of some snow on New Year's Eve, particularly so from southern Scotland down through England and Wales. And then finally, WRF looks like this. So once again, we see that there are going to be wintry showers around. We see they're primarily going to be towards coastal areas. In comes that precipitation from that little area of low pressure. It's a bit further tomorrow. It's a little bit further north with that. So this is, it's still just in the south really, but it is further inland. So bringing some snow to parts of South Wales, possibly into the southwest of England, and along the M4 corridor, perhaps. Anywhere north of the M4, though, doesn't get much of precipitation from that. But some snow coming through for the south with that. Some quite heavy snow, actually, along those southern coastal areas. Rain through the channel, though, and on the south coast. So you have to come a little way inland to find the snow from that. That gets out of the way as we get through into New Year's Eve, and then we've got these snow showers pushing southwards through northern England into Wales, possibly into the Midlands. That could bring us quite a seasonal end to the year. Then we go through to New Year's Day, and we're still bringing some precipitation down from the north and in from the northeast on New Year's Day, but not as much. New Year's Day looks like it's a drying up day. That's as far as we go with Euro 4. Let's just quickly have a look at the ECM, see how that finished, ECM 12Z. So that's how things will get 216 hours. That high pressure definitely trying to go back to Greenland and pulling like a renewed northerly, isn't it, as we get to day 10. And that is the day 10 chart. And look at this, we do start to pull in a renewed northerly. Look at the upper air temperatures with that. They're beginning to get very cold to the north with a minus 10 Celsius isotherm digging in across northern Scotland. So the ECM remains cold, and it's in fact getting colder and probably snowier up to day 10. Wow, how exciting is the ECM 12Z tonight? Right, that's it for Snow Watch then. So, again, it's as it has been. There's going to be snow around. It's going to be hit and miss. So some areas will get a covering of snow. Other areas will just get cold rain. The south tomorrow, the far south tomorrow, in for a little bit of snow, rain towards the coast. And then New Year's Eve, perhaps in more general areas of wintry weather, that will be rain, sleet and snow moving southwards through southern Scotland, northern England and into the Midlands. The cold weather is set to last, though, through the weekend and into next week. And as the winds turn into the east through the early part of next week, then we can probably start thinking about snow showers more for southern and east parts of the country. And then will we get that renewed northerly by day 10? If we do, we might start tapping into some very cold upper air temperatures, and then there will be no issue about marginality at all. It will all be snow if we start pulling in the minus 10 Celsius isotherm. So watch this space. Right, that's it for Snow Watch. We're going to have a video update for you tomorrow, probably 10 to 14 hours, and then we'll be live streaming at 6 o'clock. That will be the final live stream of this year. So yeah, Wednesday live stream at 6 tomorrow, when no doubt we'll be looking at snow prospects once again. For this Snow Watch, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.